Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the webinar, What is Coming in IDEA StatiCa 9. In the next 30 minutes, we will talk about the newest release of the Connection application, version 9. It was released 2 weeks ago. Just before the start, we have to mention the question panel. You can write down your questions and we will do our best to answer them during the webinar. If we will not answer it, we will send the answer by email directly to you. Let me shortly introduce Martin Rolny, Senior Product Engineer, and me. My name is Vid Hurčík, and I'm Product Engineer in IDEA StatiCa. Today's webinar agenda will be divided into 3 thematic blocks. Graphical user interface redesign, new skin improvements and changes in the application interface, new BIM workflows, the new way how to deal with the changes in the original model, and miscellaneous other important improvements. I'm going to pass over the presenter to Martin. Sit back and enjoy the webinar.
Hello, everybody. It's my pleasure to introduce you our new user interface, which we developed to simplify and speed up the work with IDEA StatiCa Connection. At the beginning, let me go through the list of highlights, and I would like to talk, which I would like to talk about today. First of all, we have created a new connection wizard. It speeds up design and check of standard types of connections. As you can see, you can select a class, topology, and design from a list of a dozen predefined projects and just let it create. Next, we have replaced the original navigator by a ribbon with tabs project, design, check, report, and materials. We have also updated 3D scene rendering technology and moved summary overview into the 3D window. From my point of view, the game-changing control is a tree of entities. As you see, it contains all defined members, load effects, and manufacturing operations. And it brings the effective management of the model, enables activation and deactivation of all items, and selection of items to edit in property window. Another very useful control are right mouse button commands, which enables you to very fast modification of member cross-section, welds, and bolts properties and plate thicknesses. You can also use a right mouse button to connect a member to another one by member templates and from the list which we have prepared. Let me also mention that we have moved all settings into file menu to help you manage and the project in one place. And I would like to also pick up a new Singularity check, which can identify disconnected model entities. As you can see on this example, there is a not welded stiffener, and during the calculation, program show us the problem of this Singularity, and we can immediately fix it and design our connection. As you see, there is a lot of improvements, and I would like to demonstrate you how you can increase your productivity with new IDEA StatiCa 9. So let's jump to the program and start with the demonstration. As you see, there is a mentioned wizard, and I can select a class of a connection, topology, and proper design. For my example, I will use the default values. So as you see, it's a frame if join, and I will use Eurocode. So let's create a new project. So I'll click to create a new project, and the new project with these settings is automatically created. As you see, I have received a model with member, all entities like stiffeners, welds, also the load, and I can immediately start the calculation. As you see, a new join is was, let's say, generated. Analysis model was generated, and it's calculated. And I can jump to check to investigate the results. So as you see, there is the overall check that's helped me to identify them, which parts are used, which are not used. I can check, for example, strain check, equivalent stresses, with deformed shaped. If I need to go to more detailed values, I can just jump, for example, to the table of all welds and investigate the real check and values which are coming into the check of the weld. If I need to change something in my design, can go back immediately to Design tab. And for example, I will just click in 3D window to the load, and I will change the value of the bending moment to 250. So it's immediately changed, and I will totally redesign this connection. To that, I can use the right mouse button. So I'll click to right mouse button and use option clean to delete all operations defined on a member. And I will connect now a member B to member C by a predefined template. So let's use this end plate with a widener. I will use the default size of the bolt. And as you see, I have now a totally different design. I can recalculate it and check whether it is okay or not for my load. Yeah, as you see, I have some troubles with design of these bolts. They are in red, and I see that the unity check is over 100%. So I can just click again by right mouse button and change the bolt assembly to, for example, M20 and bolt grade 10.9. If I recalculate it again, I see that now it's okay, and it satisfies all checks. Now let me also demonstrate how can I use this tree of entities. For that, I can, for example, just click on existing operation. So let's use this stiffener. I will change the view to solid. So let's click the stiffener. Stiffener is highlighted, and I will, for example, delete it. So it disappear, and I would like to modify the definition of the cut of the column. So let's change the cutting, let's say, direction from parallel to perpendicular and offset to 80 millimeters to extend the column. And I will add a new operation. For example, let's use the stiffener, and I will apply it at the end of the member, and let's keep the default settings just to have this stiffener at the top of the column. Again, I can recalculate it and check the result. As you see, the modeling with IDEA StatiCa 9 is a game, so it's very fast, and you can really change the design in seconds and investigate the results of the analysis. Now I will add a new item. So let's use this icon new, and again the wizard appears, and I will select now the class for the for this beam to beam connection, and let's use the connection with cleats. Yeah, so let's generate this one, and I have a new item in my project. I would like to mention that we automatically prepared some load for this project. So if I change the position, the view to transparent, sorry, to wireframe, you can see that we also automatically applied the correct position of the load, because as you see, this type of connection, it's a hinge. So the member B1 has applied the forces, the position of the forces in bolts, and it's in the real position of a hinge. So it was automatically set, and we can again try to calculate or play with this model. Well, I would also show you in this example the singularity check. So for that, I will disconnect this stiffener. I will again just deactivate the welds by right mouse button. So in fact, as you see, I'm made a mistake because there's no weld on the stiffener now, and it's not connected to a member B. So let's try to calculate it. Yeah, and I see that programs now tells me that there's a singularity. So let's see what we can how to do that, how to investigate it. If I go to the check view, then I can see that this stiffener is really somewhere outside from the model, and it tells me that it's a not connected part. So let's go back to a design. I will just click on this stiffener and activate the welds again, and I will calculate it again. And now it's okay. And finally, I can go to report view, generate the report, let's say prepare the output of my design, and print it if I need, and so on. So that was my demonstration, and now I will ask Veet to show us another improvements of the version 9.
Thank you very much, Martin. Let's continue with the BIM links interoperability. I'm going to show you the new connection manager feature with the import update functionality and the joint highlight feature. The new connection manager is a tool for managing the exported project data from finite element analysis tools or CAD applications. It allows you to manage efficiently more efficiently exported joints in one control window. The connection manager will provide you a preview of the joint, result summary, design code, and other information about nodes and members. The selected joint is highlighted in the 3D scene of the finite element analysis tool or CAD application also. What is the import update functionality? Let's clarify that. Usually, the engineer starts with the finite element analysis model here, and we can talk about a couple of the applications. He proceeds with the import of data to IDEA StatiCa, and then the engineer has to manual input of manufacturing operation. He needs to design the joint. Then he can proceed to code check or optimization. And if the engineer is not satisfied, usually he needs to redesign the finite element analysis model. So we are back at the start. With the new update function, he can redesign the finite element analysis model, click on update, and skip all previously generated steps to perform the code check again without inputting any other manufacturing operations again manually. This improvement saves your precious time. In the case of the CAD applications, the workflow is the same. Usually, the engineer starts with the 3D model, and we talk about Tekla or advanced steel, import the data to IDEA StatiCa, and perform input the load effects manually. Then the code check can be done. If the engineer is not satisfied, he usually changes the CAD model, and here back at the beginning, but with the new update function, which allows you to skip all the import which are done before, he can immediately perform the code check or optimization again. This improvement saves a precious time. Let's show the new workflow in a practical demonstration. I prepared for you an example in advanced steel. We have a really nice steel hole, and when I type in con UI, it opens me a new connection manager window. I prepared in advance three joints. Here I have them, number 1, number 2, and number 3. And let's focus here. The joint and members are highlighted in the 3D scene of the CAD application. It helps me to understand where it is. To show you how it works, I will delete this first one, and we will import it again. Okay, let's start with the import. I will choose the Eurocode, and now I will perform the import as we know it from before. I choose only the node which will be our joint. Then I choose all members. The first chosen member will be the bearing one, and in the third step I choose all remaining entities like plates, bolts, welds, etc. In a while, IDEA StatiCa connection window will automatically appear, and here we have all manufacturing operations and all members. Just give me a second to fine-tune this joint. I will change the position of the load for these 2 members, 2 bolts, and then I will add a new load effect and input the load effects. Don't forget to turn on equilibrium function, and we will input a few internal forces. Now only the bending moment, and we are done. Now we can perform the analysis. Great, we have results. Everything passed the code check. Now we just save the project, nothing more. Close it. And in a while, we will have another row, and here we have our important joint. Okay, let's use the update function. Let's say we have to change something in the 3D model. For example, I can choose this top girder, and I will change its cross section to IPA 160. Is it okay for you? I hope yes. Let's go back to Connection Manager, and I will choose only the function update. In a while, the StatiCa connection window will automatically appear, and all the import stuff was done in the background. Great. We imported our change. You can see here, this top girder is now IPA 160, and we kept our load effects, which was inputted to the previous connection. We can immediately perform the code check. Finally, we are satisfied. Let's save it and close it. And this was the new workflow improvement for the BIM links. Let's proceed back to our presentation, and we will talk about another improvements. Another improvement which we can talk about is direct export of the report to the formats Microsoft Document and Adobe PDF. Also, we improved a Stub manufacturing operation. Now we can easily change cross-section of the stub itself. And what's really interesting, we can move the stub in two directions, in Y and Z, for example, to align the top surface of the beam. Also, we implemented a social media share button. You can fine-tune the visualization in the 3D scene as you will desire. And by the right mouse button, you will open the context menu with two commands: share on LinkedIn or share on Facebook. For this function, you will need your account. Another improvements, we can talk about a massive improvement in anchoring design. We created a new model for the shear lock. Shear lock is now meshed as a normal member. It's a shell, and we will connect it, or the model will be connected with the weld to the base plate, and this weld will be assessed or code checked, and also new code check of the concrete in a bearing is available for you. We created a really big step forward for the formulas in American code, and we changed default values for mesh generation for all hollow section members. Right now, we have a little bit time to answer your questions. I answer some of your questions during the Martin's part, and I think he is just right now typing in another answer for you. So let's just look at the questions if we will read some of them. And we have here question from our user. What means the command re-input in the connection manager? Okay, I can answer that. I will take advantage of my previous example. Here we have, as you noticed, another command re-input, which allows you basically to do the same thing as update, but you can add or remove another entity like weld, plate, and bolt, for example. I can re-input this joint and without, for example, these two stiffeners. I think this is enough for this question, and we can see another one. There is another question: how to change the analysis type and the project items in the new UI?
Okay, maybe that I can show in my example. So just let me take the presenter. Okay, so I have already mentioned some possibilities about this. So if you need to create a new item, you can use this button copy. If sorry, new, and if I need to create a copy, I can just click on the icon copy. So if I create a copy, click the copy, then you can see that in this list of the project items, I have a new item called free, and I can change the type of the analysis directly in the ribbon. So I, for example, change it to stiffness. Yeah. If you need to more investigate or manage these project items, you can go to the project menu, and here you can see that there's the list of all items defined in my project. As you can see, again, I can change the analysis type. I can add some remark directly to the report, and I can also manage them by these buttons, new, copy, and delete. So I think that's the answer to this question.
And maybe I can read another one. Martin, it will be for you easy to show it right away. It's from our user. It's easy or it's possible to change the order of the project items when generating reports.
You can let's say go to the report. What you can do and select. Yeah, I will just change it. Sorry, or let's create it. And as you see, and now I have used the option cancel. Sorry, the current. So there is just one project item. I can also use the option select it. In that case, I can directly in the setting of the report click which project item should be in my report or not, and I can also move them. Yeah, so I can just click them in this tree and move them to the required position as I need, yeah, and rearrange them. So that's it.
Great, Martin. Thank you for the answer, and we can answer for another one. Is it possible to edit the preset joints in the beginning? I think the user meant the new wizard for the new connection. It's not possible for you, but if you are interested in some certain types, you can send it to our help desk and we will collect the requests for some time, and maybe we can add some of them in the new patches in the future. Okay, are there any questions? Okay, we are running out of time, so if there are any other questions, we will answer them directly by email. And let's finish the presentation. So I will take back the presenter. And let's continue. After the webinar, there will be a small survey. It will take you only 30 seconds. And please fill it in because you can give us a feedback and we can improve webinars. Finally, it's for you, so please don't hesitate to tell us the feedback. Recording will be available in 3 days at least, and we will send you our address to our YouTube channel. You can ask for the trial version if you are not the trialist yet at our homepage by filling a short trial request. Don't forget, we have our resource center, which is really useful. And the important thing is to say we are proud to show you a new resource center version 9. We redesigned it also for the requirements of the new guided user interface in our new applications. The last thing to mention is that the next webinar will be on 2nd May 2018, and you can see our friends and colleagues Jana Kaderova and Adam Kozhoušek at the Connection Wednesdays webinar 2nd of May. Thank you very much for your attention and have a nice day.